if you could go back to that guy that used to work those 12-hour shifts, what would you whisper in his ear?
Yeah, I can tell you right away. So let's go party and casino this weekend. So, yeah.
How did it feel to go from being respected in China into washing dishes in Canada?
Yeah.
So being on the top level, coming and starting from the bottom again.
So I don't think I'm being respectful in China. So China is.
When did you realize that you were no longer surviving in Canada, that you were thriving, that you moved to the next level?
I'm still surviving.
Interesting.
100%.
Welcome back to another episode of the Build Different, the Billionaires in the Making. Today's guest is the definition of relentless. He built a respected career in real estate back in China, only to find himself starting from scratch in Canada, washing dishes, not speaking the language, and being completely unseen. But he didn't just survive. He rose from dishwasher to top-performing sales leader. And today, we're unpacking the grit, pain, and mindset it took to rebuild it all. Let's dive in. Quint, welcome. Hi. And thank you for being here with me today.
Thanks for having me here.
Back in China, you were very successful in real estate and you dropped everything to move in Canada. How was that choice? I bet not easy.
A lot of a big choice is not by choice, right? By default, right? So, and there's many things happening in life by that time. I don't really have a choice. So,
okay.
The only thing I can say is I wasn't prepared. I don't speak English. I don't have any skill. I don't even know where I moved to, other than Canada. So.
So zero plan behind it.
No, I was following my wife.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. What's harder, building an empire from scratch or starting over after losing one?
I don't know about empire because I haven't built empire yet. But if you say repeatedly, like doing something in sales for 20 plus years, I did change a different career from real estate to car business and from China to Canada. There's a lot of similarity between those industrial, right? And because it's a sales driven. So
it's yeah. both are in sales, different aspects.
Exactly, and so with that being said, I do have some experiences like went from the top to the bottom and started over again, and I would say at the beginning when you reach your first peak, that's even harder than you started over again, because when you build it up, you need the success is coming from your attitude, coming from your experiences, right? And most importantly is luck, and you have no control with luck. Right?
Luck.
Yeah.
I hear every successful person talking about luck.
Yeah, especially when you know nothing, right? When you're 20 something, when you started, and your luck, if you follow a good leader, and if you're luck, you catch the wave in your industry, right? Okay. And there's many things. It's like we call the. You can call the ingredients, element, and to that success. Mm-hmm. You have no sense of understanding what's happening at that moment. Yes, 20 years later, you look at it back, you may have a better understanding. Hey, that's the reason. But that's the reason people always say that's pure luck. So there's a lot of luck in your first success.
Okay.
You have no control.
Okay.
So if you have no control, it's really hard. So there's no repeat for that. But when you went back to the bottom and started building up, you do have some framework in your mind. You have some knowledge, you have an understanding about everything, and you build it up through your framework in your mind. And people can call that your philosophy, your way of seeing things.
Okay. So it's easier rebuilding something than starting
100%,
from scratch.
100%.
Okay. Yeah. How did it feel to go from being respected in China into washing dishes in Canada? Because I know you were not just a real estate agent, you were top dog up there. Like you were doing really, really good.
Yeah.
So being on the top level, coming and starting from the bottom again, was that something that hurt you? Was that something What was the first feeling you had?
So I don't think I'm being respectful in China. So China is so big, you have to understand. This is funny when you come to Canada, when people seeing you're from China, and they always say, do you know this? It sounds like I own the China. So I'm just nobody in China. So, but I was doing pretty good. I was running the branch in a really big real estate agency company, managing like 240 people by that time at the age of 26.
Wow.
And so I think that's a really good feeling at that age. So lots of challenges though, and but came to Canada, like you have no essential skill, right? You don't even speak the language.
How did you deal with that? That should have been hard.
You can start with the job first, right? And the moment is like you have to figure out what job can you get. But if I know networking, no experiences, you don't even speak the language, normally, like even you go to wash the dishes, people are not gonna hire you, right? I remember my first 2 months, I dropped like a 50 resume, tried to wash the toilet and for the hotel, right? And be the housekeeper, but I never get one interview. But at this moment, I understand, and that job is for internal referral.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So normally that job is not
internal
open.
Referral for washing toilets. That's insane.
Because you're thinking about when my wife worked at the hotel and banquet for 3 years. When I first came to Canada, she spoke better English by that time, and she understand, because whenever the job will open it up, they refer their family, their friends. Right. So you have to have some connection with that. If you don't have it, just nobody drop the resume, you don't have the opportunities.
So at any business, any industry, whatever, even if that's washing dishes or cleaning a toilet, you need to have connections.
Exactly.
Bottom line, like there is nothing in this world without having connections.
Yeah.
Like
so that's kind of like you can say destroy the confidence a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But you have no choice. If you don't have no choice, then no confusion, right? You just keep pushing it. And we were lucky when we went to bought our first vehicle from Honda, a salesperson by that time, and helped us got our first job in the restaurant. And because she's Chinese, right? So and in the Chinese restaurant has a grand opening. You don't really need to speak, and we speak both Mandarin and Cantonese.
Okay, so
that will be the only speaker Cantonese. So which is really beneficial, right? So. And I got a job as a chef assistant in the back, and my wife got a job up front that pick up the combo and everything. And I think I worked there for just a little bit over 12 months. My wife worked 2 years there. So
wow, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And you told me that you used to work there 12 to 16 hours a day. Like
yes, because the ownership is taking over through the Christmas time. So they was running like half price for the combo. So the business is like 3 times the workload, and then they don't have people for the storage and everything, right? I'm the only young workforce in the back kitchen. So and so by that time I have to work from 7 to 7. But most importantly, it's like at a certain point, if I wasn't really pushed enough, I still can reach unlimited. I go find another job in KFC for 3 months. So 7 to 7 and 8 to 1. So that's like
you were working hours. 2 jobs.
Yeah, only 3 a month. And and after I burn my hands and I say I'm not taking it. So.
What did you used to say yourself to keep you going during those 12 to 16-hour shifts? Because it's not easy. What's something you used to say yourself to keep you going?
It wasn't really easy, because I never had a physical job in my whole life, right? And you work that long hours. The first thing is you feel the swallow and the hands and the foot, right? You have to standing up and lots of physical job. My workload is one day I have to move roughly 8 tons of the kitchen from the basement to the 3rd floor, and just by myself, right? But there's tons of other preparation job, food and the vegetable ready. So so I just pushing it, right? And there's no other way you can do it. I remember in the morning and the first 2 hours you cannot move your finger, and that's the hardest thing to overcome. But after the 2 hours, time flies by. So the next time you look at the watch, it's like 2 o'clock for the lunch.
You don't even have time to think about it.
No, you don't have time to think about it. Right?
Oh my God, that's insane.
Yeah.
Then after that, you decided to get back into the sales.
Yeah.
After a year-ish, when you started picking up the language and everything, right?
Yeah.
What was the big first yes in sales? And what did that moment mean to you?
I don't really, I'm the moment person. I'm not like a big version person, never ever, right? So I'm living in the moment, like let's say if you want to teach me how to make a coffee, and if that's what's my job, and I will take as long as I can to be the best to make that coffee. I don't think anything outside of the page, right? And and the most important is that whenever you definitely in sales is like provide lots of opportunity for self-reflection, self-improvement.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have tons of the moment we call epiphany moment.
Yes.
And the moment you think, damn, I figured out, right? And but that moment quite often comes with the different responsibility in start a new journey. If you know what I'm talking about, right? When you really figure it out, you understand your framework, your thinking is a little bit different, and you have more challenge coming.
Interesting.
Right. So you're always moving forward, right? So you never had that feeling. It's like, oh, this is the biggest. Yes, now I know how can I take this to build the future. No, you're living in the moment, right? You're present, enhanced.
Yeah.
And
in sales, it's you hear more times no than yes, and I would think that those yeses, especially the first one, would be something that would stick. But I see that it's every day you go from 0 to 0. Every day is a new beginning. Every day is something new. Yeah. So that makes absolutely sense. What was the most painful lesson that you learned from sales?
My zodiac is Aries, so it's really impulsive, right? So my nature is like I make a lot of rush decisions. So
I know that.
I can be really angry and emotional at the moment, right?
Okay.
So that's the moment you're generally leading to your regret, right? Yelling at people, not necessarily. When you're heated, you don't think about like the consequence, right? So I made a lot of mistake and by let my nature leading the way. So, but in the meantime, my skill side told me to be how to say that, to be more logical and rational thinking, have more logical and rational thinking. So I kind of block the instinct side of myself and try to make a decision, everything based on the logic and the instinct.
So you had to work against your nature completely.
100%, yeah. For so long, and you become your second character, second nature, and then now you can shift, right? So when you make a decision, professional life, you know what time you open that door for that demon, what time to close that door for the demon, and I used to be a heavy drinker, like I wouldn't call myself alcoholic, and but I love like get loaded and
I've heard stories that back in your old life in China, especially when you're into real estate and everything, alcohol and parties is what closes the deal. So I hear you.
That was my part of my job, and but starting from this year, I will completely give up drinking, and I think I found it out I am more in control with my emotion, right? And you know, this is kind of a little bit off topic, but when you need alcohol to reach that point, it's not easy to close that door, right? And it takes time to reach that point. Yeah, because the more you drink, the harder you get that point. And but now when you have a full control with your emotion, I can switch that button and the weight switch then right away. Wow. So we can just go from normal to crazy within a second, and go back to normal within a second.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Do you think it's important to have control of your emotions as a man, regardless of the business?
100%. 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You talk about the power of why. We had quite a few conversations about the why. What's your raw and unfiltered why today? Today that you reached to a point that you are.
You need to elaborate more details, like
So what is that
what do you
why
mean by
that keeps you going? Because I always believed that to be successful in life, your why should make you cry.
okay?
So what is your
You're too hard on
why?
yourself. So, as I mentioned before, I'm not the future person.
Mhm.
Right? My present is always strong.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say when I was in the kitchen,
Mhm.
I don't thinking about being a salesperson. Right? I don't thinking about what I'm gonna do for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It just naturally I don't thinking about that. I really enjoy that moment. Right? And I still remember there's one day I finished the 12-hour shift. I don't need to go to KFC, but I need to clean all those hood, and it's really greasy. And I finally got it done at 9 o'clock at the basement. And there's a vending machine right there.
Mhm.
And I have a toonie in my pocket. I can get a Coke. It's an ice Coke. I take a sip of it, you see the tear coming up. Oh, that's the best thing I ever had in my life. Right? It's just so happy for that moment. Right? So I think I never really had a big why. Why is important? Why for me is self-reflection. You have to understand who you really are as a person, how to make your own decision, regardless how people see you. Right? Because at a young age, if you're not mature enough, you make a lot of decisions based on other people's perspective, or maybe you can call it conventional thinking. Right? Everybody wants the money, everybody wants a position, you want a position, you want the money, you want a vacation. You're at a certain point, people tells you you need a work-life balance and you need a kid. Right? I don't have any of those. Right? I just live in the moment. And what problem in front of me, I need to conquer it. Right? So my job actually leading me to the next stage of my life. Right? So now, in our industrial, the biggest challenge is used department right now.
Mhm.
Right? Selling used vehicle, increase the vehicle acquisition, um, um, be more profitable, and those are a consistent challenge on daily basis. So I have a 200% focus on that. Right? That's my why I think today. How long does it take to really reach the moment you say, I figured it out? I don't know. If it takes me like 15 years or 500 years, if I can live that long, I would do 500 years.
So your why is getting redefined pretty much with every problem that you
yeah,
find.
yeah,
Like that why is getting redefined maybe every day, maybe every
yeah,
month.
yeah,
It's not a big why that is like in the back of your head.
yeah. And I don't lose interest in quite often. So that's why my professional life never really losing, never had a lot of drifting. Right?
Okay.
When I was in China as a realtor, I worked for one company for almost 10 years. I moved here since I in sales, and I work at Ford and Toyota. So, and I don't see myself jumping between companies and careers. It's just like my presence is always strong. So,
Does that have to do with the fact of loyalty, that you're loyal to whoever you work with?
I value loyalty definitely, yeah. So,
Okay.
but that's I would see loyalty as a byproduct, right? Yeah,
What do you mean about that? What do you mean loyalty as a byproduct? In a sense that you give the loyalty when you receive it from others, or
because when you choose work for the people, and that the reason to connect with you and the company and the boss is the sheer value, right?
okay.
So I was so lucky in my whole life, and I call myself a golden boy all the time, right? Wherever I work, and I turns out I become the people get the most favorites.
Okay.
Right. So my leader, my boss, they always speak high of me and give me the best support. I don't see quite often from other people's in my life, right? So that's part of the luck I was trying to explain to you earlier. So that's why when you keep having that luck and the loyalty is just a no-brainer because you work with somebody share the same value.
So loyalty is the byproduct of sharing values with someone
When you
else.
make the decision to start working for those
Yeah.
companies, right? And I think that's really important. I will never be the person to go to the interview to say, if you give me the job, I'm loyal to you. We heard that a lot.
When did you realize that you were no longer surviving in Canada, that you were thriving, that you moved to the next level?
I'm still surviving.
Interesting.
100%.
Interesting.
Because you always need to be prepared. Like everything God give it to you, they can take it away like this. Right? So you always need to be prepared to start it over again. If the market, you have there's many things in life you have no control. You have no control with your health. You can do your best,
but you have no control.
Right?
Yeah.
You can no control with accident. Right?
Yeah.
And you think you have a control with your job just because of your professional strong. But honestly, most of the time, the reason we're doing good is because we are catching a wave. When the wave disappeared, you will understand like your professionalism is not the reason you're doing well. So I've been gone through a couple of waves in different market, and I understand that. So you need to always be prepared, and a survival instinct can never ever disappear.
So you saying that you should always be in that survival mode.
100%.
Even if you reach high, because if you give up that survival mode, then you lose everything.
Yeah. Another way to look at it, what's the definition of surviving mode?
I would say
when people are surviving, what they normally do.
They work and they do their best. They will do everything to
and
stay
humble.
alive. Yes.
Is that necessary? Is there something you need to always keep it?
Definitely, I would 100%. Say. Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. You were once addicted in the hustle, from China to Canada. Do you still keep chasing that hustle, or now you found peace with yourself?
Autopilot, yes. For sure. Hustle is in your vein. Like you cannot get that away. And honestly, I don't ever want anybody be like me, because that's how we grow up, right? You grow up the way you don't have a habit. You grow up the way your parents not even around, right? And so everything is about chasing for the materialist goal at the early age of your career, right? And then you develop your personal personality and the strengths and through that process. But if you ask me, like even 4 years ago, 5 years ago, do I have any habit? I don't. Now I start like a go vacation and traveling a little bit more, golfing with my friend. I'm really bad at golfer, but sometimes you find it out that companies, that commodity is really needed in life. I'm lucky. I'm just middle 40. I still have a lot of time to develop that part of it. But if you look at my parents, they don't have time. When they reach the age of 70, 60, 70, and they're quite boring. They're so disconnected with the society, right? So, and I don't want to be like that. But the hustle needs some restriction as well. So, if that makes sense to you.
I understand what you mean, and I can relate with that story because when I grew up, both of my parents, they were working day and night, 12 to 14-hour shifts, 2 jobs. And I remember me being 4 or 5 years old, my sister 3 years younger than me, and I had to be the man of the house and had to figure out stuff by myself and keep hustling, growing up more and more to be able to achieve something better in life. So I know what you mean. If you could go back to that guy that used to work those 12-hour shifts,
Yeah.
what would you whisper in his ear?
Yeah, I can tell you right away. So let's go party and casino this weekend. So, yeah, yeah. But that time is like you're still into your own world because my chef was like over 50 years old. You think about the wok is that big, and for the fried rice, right? Every day and after the shift, you can see he can barely lift his hands, right?
Wow.
And what can I do to help him to enjoy the life a little bit more, right? And we like watch the show sometimes, gamble a little bit, and get that kind of happiness in life, right? And I think that's something I can help those person, which I kind of missed the opportunities by that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you believe enjoying that every moment, having a little bit fun even when things are hard is very important.
Exactly, yeah. And go back to the question you asked. I know the way they design the question is just like has some epiphany moment that can really shift people's life.
Yeah.
But I am the guy heavily I believe what we call the first step integration. It's just like a first step moving forward. If you work with the people, you can only make people one level better.
Interesting.
That's the first step, right? So if you really want to make an impact, it's not about giving the best ideas and practice in life and totally shift every people's life. If you can make a little bit impact, make him move, become a better person, even be happier, you are making your impact, right?
Wow. Very interesting. How do you balance your ambition, your work life with a peace of mind and your family?
My family is a little bit simple, right? I can't say for the people knows me well, I haven't really do well with that balance because I still left my mom in China. I don't have enough support to her. And as the only kid in my family, she's by herself since my dad passed away. But I spend more time with my wife to try to build the same habit, spend some time talk, traveling. We don't have a kid. It's a simple family unit here, right? So for me, it's like involve my wife a little bit with what we do, and in the after hours, and that's what I was focused on. But for the whole family perspective, and I don't think I'm a good son, and I've fulfilled my duty. So if you have some advice to me, and I want to listen, but it's not that easy. So
no, I know what you mean, and I definitely haven't been a good son myself.
Yeah.
And Mom, I'm really sorry, and I really hope to make you proud one day.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Let's go back to talking about your career in the sales, because we're gonna get too emotional, and I don't want us to start crying in this podcast.
Yeah.
What do most people misunderstand about success in sales and success in life in general?
Generally, people want to live in a successful life. They don't want to be a successful salesperson.
That's wow.
Right.
They just want to live the successful life, but they don't want to be a successful salesperson.
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you mean with that?
Because there's a limited understanding what does a successful salesperson's life look like. It has to change a lot because many people think a successful salesperson is like a workaholic, right? Alcoholic, right? High emotion, right?
Yeah.
And they sell lots of vehicles, make lots of money, but they're spending money crazy. That's type of like a how to say
the mentality that people have about sales.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the point of view.
Yeah.
And I can relate with that because when I got into the business, everybody's like, oh, so you're going to get into the car sales. Now you're going to start doing drugs. You're going to start drinking. I'm like, what do you guys mean? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So yeah, the point of view that people have about salespeople, it's not the best, I would say.
Yeah.
Do you think that is easy to change, or it's hard to change that?
It has changing a lot, right?
It does?
It changing a lot, right? And even like you look at our company, I barely see anybody drink.
That is true.
We have like 40 people in sales department. How many of them drink? Right.
But the perception that people have about salespeople is something that's going to take years to change, because people probably still see salespeople as slazy, this, that, the perception that, oh, he wants to sell me something, oh, he's a salesperson, regardless the industry, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that perception will take many years to change?
I think statistically, people saying the new generation demographic, let's say 20 years old people, 20 to 24 years old, they're more leaning towards to be a salesperson in today as compared to like 10 or 15 years ago, right? People are not really against to be a salesperson, because the lifestyle has changed and the way of the selling has changed, right? Even for we talk a lot about the digital world, right? We're doing the podcasting, and a lot of salesperson does that. Influencer, they're good salesperson as well.
Do you think that the social media and seeing Grant Cardone, Alex Hormozy, and all these famous people in sales has helped a lot for that perception to change?
Yeah. Even you look at Grant Cardone, he's not even just selling the training, right?
Yeah,
they're selling everything. And the real estate is one of his big, strong focus right now as well, right?
Yes.
So,
what's something about car sales that most people don't understand, specifically for car sales though, that people don't understand and they need to?
I would say long hours. People think they understand sales is long hours, but they don't understand why it's long hours, right?
What do you mean by that?
Because sales for me is an area can provide good self-reflection, a lot of opportunity for self-improvement.
Okay.
Right. So when you are really taste the sweet about your consistently improve yourself, start doing your sales, and you obsess with with that kind of that feeling. So that's the moment that you can forget about the things around you, like you're in the zone, right? And
yes, when you're in the zone.
Yeah. When you're in the zone and you forgot about the relationship, forgot about a lot of things, and the time just flies by. And
can everyone be a salesman?
So that's the point. You have to understand at a different stage of life, different responsibility, there's a risk, right? So when you are fully involved and you're doing really well, you forgot about to take your girlfriend for a date, you forgot about the movie time, you forgot about buying the lunch, family time, and that can drive a lot of conflict, right? And so that's exactly, yeah, go ahead.
Skills wise, let's say you take a person that's an accountant, whatever the business, right? Can anybody from any business get into the sales today? Is that easy?
Yeah. I think everybody should have a taste of the sales and what the sales look like, right? And as I mentioned, sales for me is self-improvement, right? Wow. You see yourself, what you're capable, you're not capable, and there's a mirror all over the house, and you look at yourself in a different angle every day. So no business can provide that much opportunity for you to have a good self-reflection. But in the meantime, you can ignore all of them. By being stupid and being negative, and but my point is that whenever you really start doing well and you like that feeling, that's the moment you find it out. You're 5 steps ahead as compared the people around you. So that's the moment, and the people doesn't even understand what the sacrifice needs to be made, right? And because in sales can provide a drastically increase and changing evaluation for yourself.
And it can change your mood and personality, or just mood?
Everything, yeah.
And everything
but if you're off, and that's the moment you find it out, your friends, your
co-workers, everybody.
Yeah, everybody, and even your family cannot catch it up with that growth. That's the moment, and they don't understand what does the long hours mean, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not prepared for that, and you don't give yourself enough time, enough patience to go through that stage to build yourself, because sometimes you need to be a little bit lonely to build yourself, and you need some support from the other side, right? But if you don't have that, you jump in sales, mainly thinking about making money, and all of a sudden you're doing good, and you find that everybody's keep dragging your leg. You have to make the sacrifice. That's the moment all those effort and the talent can be wasted.
So the people that you surround yourself can drag you down and not let you progress, not let you go reach your full potential.
100%. Yeah, that can happen. So that's what I mean, the misunderstanding in sales.
Yeah.
So people just don't understand what's the story behind the long hours. And they don't give the salesperson enough support.
Do you think to be a salesperson you need a spouse or someone that can, how to word that right? Like when someone is in sales, do you think that it needs a specific person that can tolerate all those ups and downs and long hours? Not only in sales, in entrepreneurship as well.
Like your significant others?
Your significant other. Like,
okay.
Does it take a specific?
That's important, right? Yeah. Every successful salesperson has a wife sacrifice a lot behind it. So for sure, yeah. And if you don't have that,
it's hard.
You're prepared for your second marriage or something.
No, thank God. Yeah. I really appreciate that my wife is understanding and everything. So, otherwise, I would have already. What's one moment in sales where your intuition was louder than logic? That your gut feeling was telling you, I'm right?
I think we just touched base a little bit in the previous conversation, the questions, right? I mentioned my Aries instinct is impulsive.
Yeah.
Right. But my developed second character prefer thinking logically and more having more rational
thinking.
Right. So that's the moment when you have a two personality, and based on case and based on situation, and then you know which door open, which door close, right? So
now you can control that thing.
My intuition will make me a little bit more human.
Okay.
Right, but that normally and leading to damage.
Being more vulnerable, yeah. Do you believe that in sales is more important to be liked or trusted?
In sales training, we talk about the process, right?
Yeah.
Like, listen, believe, and sell.
Yeah.
Right. There's a stage.
Okay.
Right? Like and listen, and there are two different stages. Right. You have to be likable first.
You have to be likable first.
100%.
People buy from people they like.
Yeah. You be humble, and you have to I mentioned present.
Yeah.
A lot, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the key for being likable, because let's say you're in sales, you talk with your manager, and your manager grab the phone when they're talking to you, and do you feel he's engaged with you, right? And even he can still multitasking, and how good would you feel when you really want to vent it out to your manager and get some advice from that person, right? So that's why in our life, the first step, like for a leadership to learn, is if you have people come to your office, flip the phone, close the laptop, to have a full focus with them. Right? Full attention, right? Even you have a charm, like a character, personality, but you are always 5 steps away, and your head is always spinning in the air. You cannot provide the present attention to other people. You cannot be likable.
And in that situation, I don't think you can even help, because most of the problems,
Yeah.
you solve them with time and attention.
Yeah, and the skill comes later,
Yes.
right? So you cannot be skilled. Maybe people can challenge you on that, but what I believe is likable is from your vulnerability and your ethic and who you really are as a person.
So you have to be real.
You have to be real.
You
right?
can't fake it. People will smell
For
it
me,
right
I
away.
can. I cannot fake it. Right. I mean, I can sometimes fake my smile, but I cannot fake my personality.
Okay.
Yeah.
How has failure shaped your leadership style? Has failure actually affected you as a leader?
When you say from hero to zero, right? We're
Yeah.
facing the failure all the time, right?
True.
Yeah. So it all depends on the definition of a failure, right? You can see the consistent trial and error, right? And you become better because you need to try. If you don't try, how do you know that's the right thing, right? And you become better. Some people are obsessed to that kind of a fail and learn, right? That's based on the experiences. And some people are just afraid of stepping forward, and they always want to have a big plan before the lack of action in a way.
The lack of
right?
action.
So I don't think failure is underrated. I think failure is overrated.
You think failure is overrated?
Yeah. And,
interesting.
As well as the stress, and as well as the any feeling and the desire conversation, right? If you go to the YouTube and the TikTok, even in Chinese communities, 小红书, right? And then you will understand. You'll see lots of motivational speaker and give you kind of ideas about what do we do right and how to handle stress and this type of thing, right? And but here's the thing: in my world, I see the biggest problem we are facing right now is not a lack of the awareness with the stress. It's not many talented people and create with their creativity can build a plan and framework for people to be successful, right? So let's say in sales, you can train people how to sell, but if you're building a good process, and for people without thinking can go through the process to sell and really work, and you can get a lot of result out of it, right? But in our world, the people, especially for lots of the leaders, they tend to talk about those problems without building the house, right? So if we have more people in the leadership role can really build a house, the rest of the people just need to know how to live in the house.
So do you believe that most of the leaders nowadays focus on the problem and not on the solution?
100%.
Right?
That's what we call the ladder and the roof, right? People talk about the ladder all the time and comparing to the ladder, you are fancier than I, and without understanding what's the roof. And nobody is responsible to the result. People become stationary, in a way stuck with those problems in front of them.
Because they focus on that problem, but they don't focus on what is the result they want.
100%, yeah.
They don't see what do they want to accomplish with that.
But you know, the number one trait, number one skill people people can be successful in a senior position. I'm not talking about the entry-level management. If you want to be a successful in senior position, the number one traits and the skills you need to have is figure things out with minimum support. It doesn't mean your boss is not supporting you. It means when you put it in a senior position, think about what you get. You get the money, you get to pay well, right?
True.
You get the sources, and you get the power.
Okay, yeah.
People hire you to figure things out.
I guess you're right. No, you're right. You're 100% right.
Right.
So you have, okay.
And how stupid is like if you got all of three, you still look at your boss saying, nobody teach me how to get it done. It doesn't work that way. The reason you get those three things is people cannot figure that out with minimum support. So you have to be more creative and find a solution to make sure you put the right people and the right sources in the right place. And you make things work.
So technically, you have to be a little bit of street smart if you want to reach to the top.
You have to be, if street smart means...
Street smart.
Yeah, if street smart means you need to figure things out
by yourself.
On high level and occasionally, and yes, 100%.
Interesting. Very interesting. I love that. Do you think being an immigrant gave you an edge in business?
There's an advantage and disadvantage, right? Being an immigrant, we have to understand there's a lot of things you need to catch up.
True, especially when you don't speak the language.
Yeah.
Mentality-wise, though, do you think the immigrant hustle mentality that everybody speaks about, work as an immigrant, that you work hard, you work long hours, do you believe that that gave you an edge in business?
I do see, like when you put myself into a immigrant category, I do see lots of good traits from different nationality, right? It doesn't mean Caucasian people is not working hard, right? And but as being a Chinese, and I think the stereotyping edge, and as you mentioned, I do have some, right? Because people see you work hard, but they also see you are smart, right? See you're good at math, right? So those are good traits.
Yeah.
Right. So, and if you can be a little bit more funnier, you add a little bit ingredients over there.
Yeah.
There's lots of advantages.
So sometimes even the stereotypes that they have about different cultures, they help a little bit if you season them really well.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. But on the other side, when you look at your friends, like I know we don't want to talk about the racism that much in the podcast, but if you look at the even in our business, you look at Filipino, you look at Latino, right? When people has the prospect, they're mainly for the labor force, it's even harder for them.
Yes.
Right. So if I say if a Chinese needs to work 3 times harder, and in this market,
so you
have
felt
to, they need to work way harder than me, right?
So did you ever feel that you have to prove yourself twice? Once because you're an immigrant, because you're Chinese, your language skills, and the other one because of your sales skills? Like, did you feel that you had to prove yourself twice?
You have to work harder because you don't speak the language, and you want to be a salesperson. You have to understand people is not paying the money for the service to help you to learn English, right?
That's true.
Right. So for me, it's all catch up. So you have to work harder to catch up,
just
to meet the minimum and standard.
Wow.
Right. So and that's all on you. So you cannot see this as racism or stereotyping people. You just need to catch up.
You just need to catch up.
Yeah.
For me, I honestly, I believe that every immigrant that I've met in every country, I've been in quite a few countries, I've been blessed, and God was the most hardworking people. The reason being is not as from a race type of perspective, but because I will say that the country is your house. So if I move in Canada, I'm moving outside of my house. I get outside of my comfort zone. The people that they're in their places, they're set. And that might happen even to an immigrant after years, right? So when you go somewhere with the hunger of getting a better life for you and your family, that's what will give you that edge, that extra hard work.
Mhm.
That's what I mean by the immigrant hunger and edge. And I do believe that everybody needs to have that, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
it's like the hustle that
Yeah.
we were talking earlier, right?
Yeah, Caucasian people has lots of challenges as well. So,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That it doesn't. It's not a color thing. It's a mentality thing for me.
Yeah.
It's you just need to be hungry all the time.
Now, just pay attention to what you said, and if once you have that perspective, you understand how to pick up the good from different colors, like what you say, right? So,
Yes,
yeah.
that's. Do you think discomfort is underrated in today's very, very soft world? I would say people.
As I mentioned in the previous question,
Mhm.
I think it's overrated, right?
What do you mean by overrated, though? Like
Yeah, people talk too much.
about discomfort.
Yeah, there's a feeling talk, right? So lots of feeling talk and lots of desire talk, but lack of building the house. Lack of the people are creative enough to build in a house, right? So honestly, when you want to be success, you only need a 1 or 2 person build a house. The rest of the people are living in that house. Why you have expectation? Everybody has to be the person to build a house,
Interesting.
right? So, but
But
have you heard this knowledge? People say the best way to become a millionaire is become the billionaire's driver.
that is pretty accurate. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I never happened to me, but
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, because the connection, the like if you're 24/7 with a billionaire, you have a better chance to become a millionaire, right?
So it doesn't mean that you have to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why those sources, those tools, the networking, the different way of seeing certain things, and that's the building house skill, right? So sometimes you just need to follow it, right? Especially in the investment, like we call the money game, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't need to be a super professional to know how about to money operate, but you have a really good leader, good friend are doing that, you follow his lead, I think you can be successful.
So not everybody can be the builder. Some people will just be there to live.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah.
like
Our society is a lack of the builder. That's my personal opinion.
But to become a builder, you need to get out of that comfort zone.
You need to figure things out with minimum support.
Okay, we'll leave it like that. You need to figure things out with minimum support.
Yeah.
I like that. For my last question, I like to ask this all my guests. If everything disappeared today, money, title, reputation, everything, what is that one skill that will help you to rebuild it all?
At this stage, it's not about skills, but knowledge, right? And as I mentioned, the framework. So the way you're seeing things, and for example, I do see most of the successful story comes from catching a wave. Some of the knowledge we built in the last 25 years of in sales and can help me to identify what's the next wave. That maybe in sales, maybe in different industry, maybe in different city, right? I will spend some time meet the people with the sources and with the money and with the time and with the power, with the position to gather some advice and help me to identify where can I find the next wave. And I just 100% dive into and to learn and to try and to be
new
better.
things and be better.
Yeah.
So network and keep going, learning, adapting, and moving forward.
100%.
Okay. Man, that's powerful. From scrubbing dishes to scrubbing the competition. You're proof that success isn't about where you start, but how deep your reasons goes. If this episode hit home for you, share it with someone who's in their kitchen phase right now, because comeback is always stronger than setback. This is Built Different. See you next time.